It's Wendy and Colin reporting from DeTour, our Camano 31. Today we go from Parry Sound to Killarney Mountain Lodge with a slight detour to Covered Portage. Prior to any departure, we do an engine check. The oil level, the fluid level, i.e. coolant, fan belt tension, and sometimes the transmission fluid, along with a visual inspection. What's the story behind it?
So, I'm underlining every looper boat I meet as we loop. And I've met my first one. This is DeTour right here, ours. And I've just met Blue Moose from Kingston. So I'm underlining their name.
Nice.
So we'll see how many loopers we meet along the way.
Blue Moose. Saturday morning early, cruise ship in, everybody's flying planes, going to Killbear, and just got a new fuel tank and filter. Dumped the old gas at more expensive than the cost of gas. Anyway, fun times. Okay, it is 10 o'clock. On Saturday morning, we are leaving Parry Sound, Big Sound Marina, sailing Bobby Orr Museum, Georgian Parry Sound sailing, and then a huge Coast Guard station here. And we have in the far distance, you can see it on this, the Oriole. The AIS is on the Oriole. Yeah, dead ahead, coming in all its glory. The HMSC Oriole is going right by us. Last time I saw that was at RCYC, and here we are. Man, that's beautiful. Especially out here on the water. As we left Parry Sound, we got a call from friends of ours saying, "Hey, are you guys available for lunch?" We said, "Sure." Dan and Barb, great friends, decided to dinghy up from Y Heritage Midland to Killbear National Park. We anchored, had lunch, had a great time, and said goodbye. Totally appreciate the visit. Our boat is our home, so when you have your home, you got to bring your hobbies. One of the things I love doing is flying planes. This is Dad's Timber X, and we're at the anchorage just entertaining ourselves and our neighbors.
Here we go. 10 feet.
Skinny water.
Brown, run aground.
Yeah, it's a hard hit if we hit this.
9.
Man, that's not more than 10 feet wide. I don't know if you can actually see it.
No, probably not. Down to 11.
Next stop
skinny,
is
skinny.
Portobello. Decided to take a left turn.
Inhale.
And go to Table Rock Channel. You'll understand as you see this why it's called Table and it's called Rock.
Inhale.
We didn't actually stay out here because we went through the channel, although fully safe and protected from waves. It was going to be windy that night, so we went back out and stayed at Hopewell Bay. Great anchorages everywhere.
And we're through. Across from Pointe Barrel, which looks like it's being revamped, was the famous hunting lodge called the Belleville Hotel.
Really?
And it burnt down and it was rebuilt, but never really was occupied as a hunting lodge after it was burnt down in around 1920. But it looks like it's been occupied. 2 years when we went through, they had put new windows and everything in it. It looks like the door is open.
Yep. Screen's open.
So I'm wondering.
So we're on the way to the Bustards, and the last time we got in this situation, I said to Wendy, if the bell rings, we'll turn around and we'll go back. Well, here's living proof that I don't live up to my expectations or my promises. The bell rang, we kept on going. You get so far into the trip that it's not worth turning back, and you just keep punishing yourselves for the balance. Love you, babe. There you go. You got a good one.
I got a good. So here's a spool of 400 feet of floating line off the back. Collins on shore, or shore by the dinghy. We've got climbing wedges that we put between the cracks of the rock instead of going and tying to a tree, because these trees have fought very hard to survive in this harsh climate with very little topsoil. And it doesn't take much to pull the roots out of the rock. So we're very much against tying to trees up here. So good luck. He'll shortly tell me to bring in the slack, and we'll swing the stern around and we'll be all set. Stay tuned.
In the buskers, it is 6 o'clock, and we were 2 of us here, and then so far I think 11 loopers, not loopers, sorry, White Heritage rendezvousers, or Maple Leaf, have pulled in. And Ian and Carol's ride is right over there, which is a cruiser yacht 46, Ross and Karen's. And this again is our backyard, which we anchored and stern pulled in. Yeah, it's simply spectacular. It is Tuesday, July 12th. We are coming into Beaverstone Bay, which is the bay prior to going to Collins Inlet. That was formed 1.5 billion years ago through a fault, as the Earth formed what it is as we know today, 1.5 billion years ago. And Ian and Ross and Carol and Karen are about to zoom past us at 30 knots. We're going 7 uphill.
Okay, here we are in the Narrows at the top of Beaverstone Bay. We're about to enter Collins Inlet. We went through a shallow part of approximately what depth?
6.5 at the minimum, but otherwise 7.5. And that's plus a foot below the water because I don't have an offset, so 8 feet.
Okay, so not too shallow.
Nope, not at all.
I believe this is a famous, it was a family that decided to move up here. I think they had Irish descent, and they actually farmed the land here, and you can see the clearing. And it wasn't until I think the grandson decided to move out that it's been left fallow or unfarmed. Pretty incredible story. And here we are. This is Collins Inlet. It's actually formed by faulting 1.5 billion to 1 billion years ago as 2 smaller plates crashed in together. It's mainly coniferous trees, but you find some deciduous along its edge. Again, this used to be a huge lumbering area of Georgian Bay. Traditionally, this has been a east-west passage for everybody from the coureur de bois, fur traders, to lumbermen, and to any form of trades. Steamships. You can see there's our traveling companion for today, Sonata. Collins brothers Ian is on the boat with Carol, and owners Ross and Karen. It's their first big trip north. Gorgeous sight against the rocks.
It is.
In front of us is remnants of old piers that belong to a logging camp that was founded in about 1868, just after Canada's Confederation. At one point it was a very huge facility. It had a sawmill, storage buildings, sawdust burner with a 30-meter high chimney, large infrastructure to support services and for the loggers and workers. The sawmill manufactured shingles, laths, pickets for the construction industry, and boxes for shipping fruit and fish. It became one of Georgian Bay's largest mills. But it also led to, again, a trade war with the United States. In the 1890s, American lumbermen companies would come up and buy the tracts of vast timber and want to ship the timber down to the American mills. The owner of this mill, Bertrand, was a member of the Canadian Parliament. He encouraged and got the Canadian government to place tariffs on Americans exporting lumber, and they prevented any more tracts of land to be sold to Americans. But approximately in 1917, the mill burnt down and was never rebuilt. It's now home to a fishing lodge, which is privately owned, and there it is up on the hill. Okay, here we are at the entrance of Killarney, an old lodge that was recently rebuilt. It's a conference center. It purports to have the largest paddle hanging over its entranceway. Gorgeous color of the water. Nice aqua. Actually owned by a gentleman out of London, Ontario. At the building with behind the big Canadian flag, that is the original lodge. There's a great restaurant and bar in there. It's more or less a circular bar with a big fireplace in the center. Generally nightly entertainment. If you could consider something being downtown Killarney, this would be it. The white building is a general store.
Covered portage that we are entering. We'll see if we can capture the Indian head on the way in. It's always fun. You gotta capture it at the right angle and the right light. This entire anchorage is a hurricane hole. It's surrounded by high mountains, granite. What do you think it's called, Wendy?
These are granite mountains with quartzite.
Quartzite. Okay, here we go. We're coming. Indian head. Oh, there it is. Oh, you can totally see it. I just wish I could zoom in. Wow, that is so significant. Shit. There it is. Look at that. Native head.
There's a name for him, Chief. And then he disappears.
Yeah, I know. It just loses in its face. That's very cool, right?
Yeah.
So, as you saw earlier, we did a quick run through Killarney Mountain Lodge. We went to Covered Portage, stayed a couple of nights, and then we backtracked to Killarney Mountain Lodge and stayed there for 3 days. As you can see from this drone video, it's a pretty special place. It is the gateway to the North Channel. Enjoy the video, just hoping to give you a perspective of what this cute small little Northern Ontario town is all about. I struggled with this part of the video and the audio because there's no way through pictures and voice that I can explain or show how incredible Killarney Mountain Lodge is. Take it for what it's worth. It is epic. I hope I did it justice. So, now that you've seen Killarney Mountain Lodge from above, let's go into the town, into the lodge and enjoy. Gets a little bit louder. There are simply no words to describe this place. This is Killarney Mountain Lodge, and I believe this is called the Great Lodge. And yeah, I don't know where they got the trees to do this, but the size and the magnitude of this is unbelievable. If you ever have a chance to pass through Killarney, this place is epic. And then when you walk out, yep, you get this. This is Wendy talking to her high school geography teacher. What a strange place to meet somebody like that in Killarney.
Harold is a great. I see him all the time on Facebook. You're right. Well.
Epic.
Now John at the bar, he's a friend of mine. He gets me my drinks for free. And he's quick with a joke, or a light the smoke. But there's some place that he wanted. He says, Bill, I believe this is killing me. As a smile ran away from his face. But I'm sure that I could be a movie star if I could get out of this place. Everybody
It is Friday at 10:45, July 15th, and we are leaving Killarney Mountain Lodge. And just a quiet morning, a little late start. Yeah, what can I say? It's simply spectacular. Gorgeous little Grand Banks 32 called Patience. And the guy working on the boat has got a lot of patience.
Killarney Mountain Lodge is a special place for us, as it is with anybody else that goes there. I leave you with this. That's us having coffee, watching the sun rise, come up. Take care, be safe, and enjoy. And hey, thanks for watching. Wendy and Golly.